Yep.
What's your background?
My background
first of all?
is my character is a business person.
So, were you always a business person, or
okay.
are you still one now?
So, my character's name is Rhiannon Page. Yep.
Rhiannon Page.
Literally just
like
drawn
that.
from books I could see around me. She used to work in business for a super secret tech firm.
Nice. Okay. Have you got any creative names for your super secret tech firm? I like adding lore to the world.
Pentex.
Pentex. Nice.
Which was then one day attacked by a supervillain.
Okay.
In the ensuing struggle, she killed the villain unknowingly with her powers.
And what are your powers?
Stealing powers.
And I've got an idea of what power they had then.
By unfortunately killing the supervillain in question, she gained laser eyes. But obviously, police don't understand this kind of thing, so she's now on the run, trying to figure out where her powers came from, why this guy attacked her company.
Interesting.
And trying to stay one step ahead of the law.
So what's your next card?
Her skill set is she's a keen observer, giving her great power in the business world.
Is it something you've always been since you were young, or is it something you've had to master in your adult life?
She mastered it when being forced into the cutthroat world of business.
Nice. I like that. And your science expertness?
She originally was a scientist within the corporation, but moved up into management and business.
I like that. So, was Pentex a science-based organisation?
They researched strange biochemical things.
Ooh, very interesting. And what was it that you did on the business side? Was it just sales administration type stuff, or was it actually more involved in the
she was
science
basically
side?
involved, got pushed up into helping. She was kind of the liaison between the science staff and the management.
That's pretty good. What's
Final
your
card is she's always prepared.
Okay, and do you understand how that works? If you might notice it's slightly different than the other skill cards.
During any point in the game, I can select a 5-point resource or contacts that you prepared ahead of time.
Yeah, it's the kind of the Batman situation. You come across situations like, oh, I need that thing. Well, of course I brought that with me.
It's in my backpack.
Exactly. Always prepared, again, is slightly advanced because it does involve you to look up stuff in the rules and things. But on the whole, the GM should have the ability to go, yeah, that's probably fine. So in most situations, as long as it's not outlandish, you can say that you have a thing at least once in the game. So now, what is your current status in the world? Are you still just a business person, or have you adventured into the world of heroics?
Well, she's currently on the run from both the law and from Pentex.
If you wanted to, you could choose the wanted criminal floor, which will give you 10 more points to spend. Otherwise, it's only going to be a story element opposed to something you'll actually face. But either is fine. Very much like we said earlier on about you're quite good at self-imposing floors.
Yeah. I'll keep it self-imposed for now, purely just... currently what she's doing is she's trying to investigate other superpowered people, trying to figure out where these powers come from.
And what is your motivation for doing this? Is it just personal, or is it something bigger than that?
Well, she's trying to clear her name, figure out how she got these powers.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's a scientist. She knows this isn't normal. I wasn't exposed to radiation at any point. No radioactive spiders. No dips into acid baths. Why can I suddenly steal powers?
Yeah, so basically you had no idea you had the ability to absorb powers until you encountered one, and then it saved your life and gave you these strange abilities, which you can still do. I'd imagine you'd be a little bit... How are you treated amongst the rest of the superhero community? Because the world that we're playing in a standard is one that has superheroes.
She isn't that forthcoming with her ability to steal powers.
So you don't take on a persona of anything. Because you're running from the law, wouldn't it be worthwhile having some alternate identity? Or costume, perhaps? I'm always trying to push costumes.
I know you are. I'm imagining her more Hulk than Batman. She's on the run. She doesn't have time for a costume or a secret lair.
Presume under that same logic, you don't have an alternate name or identity.
I mean, other than maybe like a fake ID.
What they would report, if someone was seen shooting lasers out of their eyes in a peculiar situation, and they didn't know who it was, but maybe it's happened a few times before, maybe either they're going to use your fake name, which might be on record, or they give you some weird identity.
I'm I'd say that would come up in the story and hasn't been decided yet. She's not at that point.
That's totally fine. Okay, we've got a bit of a concept there. So the situations that you're going to be finding yourself in most of the time are things that you've probably decided to personally get involved in
Yeah,
because of your research.
just sort of finding, like, hey, you have superpowers. Do you remember how you got them?
Okay, I like that. Well, we might have a very interesting connection here then.